Hi, my name is Jeanette. I'm the founder of Beat the Streets, a faith-based organization that helps homeless individuals build a life of self-sustainability. Our website is beatthestreets.org, and you're listening to GoTarryn TV.
Hey everybody, welcome to GoTarryn TV. This is Tarryn, the traveling trainer out of Atlanta, Georgia, and for our very first time today from beatthestreets.org, we have the founder and executive director on the line, Jeanette Hames, joining us. Jeanette, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well. Glad to be on GoTarryn TV.
Well, thank you. The pleasure's ours. Appreciate you coming on.
Founder, like you said, and executive director of beatthestreets.org, an faith-based organization that helps homeless individuals build a life of self-sustainability.
Very good.
And, yeah.
Excellent, Jeanette. Now, take us through. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and where you're from and how you got to running that organization?
I'm from Atlanta. My family lives in Europe, so I do go back and forth.
Okay.
And I used to run medical practices, and that was my career.
Oh.
And I always say it's all Andy's fault. And the reason I say that is because I was listening to a message that Andy Stanley gave, and it was called Not Christian.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, wow, that's interesting. And so as I sat there, he was talking about, Christ never called his followers Christians. He called them disciples, and what that meant. And it meant serving the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know why it hit home with me, but it really did. And so that night I got home and it was just on my heart, and I just surrendered myself, my will, my all, and said, Lord, do with me as you wish. And it was a couple weeks later that I got a call from a neighbor, and because my family did professional gardening in Europe, they asked if I could help design a rooftop garden in Midtown. And I said, sure, no problem. That would be very cool. So we built 90 raised beds on a rooftop. And guess what? The rooftop was on top of a homeless shelter. So here I thought I might be working with little kids in Wonderland.
Huh.
And I was introduced to all these homeless individuals, and one of the young men, Frank, who was 19 at the time, had been homeless since he was like 12.
Mm-hmm.
And I found that most of the people there in and out of homelessness since a young age, so it's difficult for them to find their way out. And Frank's now in his last year of college. The second one I met was Gabriel, and he had the same situation, only he was 30. And he had his bachelor's degree, but he was still homeless. I mean, didn't have a job. And so through friendship and love and just earning their trust and respect, we learned to work with them. And I started forming the organization because more people asked for help.
Mm-hmm.
And we started mentoring and working with them in job development and placement. And as things go, like Gabriel now has his master's degree in leadership and just got another promotion at Home Depot.
Oh,
so,
nice.
Yeah.
Very
We've been working with now, we've kind of more focused our attention to North Fulton, which includes all of Alpharetta, from Johns Creek all the way through Alpharetta, Milton, and then all the way down to Sandy Springs. And we work with, kind of unique, with the homeless that are on the street. So people ask me, well, where's your office? Well, the Dunkin' Donuts, Waffle House, Panera Bread,
Yeah.
because wherever we can take them at the time. And we'll do little outings like Bags of Hope, where we fill bags with hygiene products, first aid products, and a lot of non-perishable food and drinks. And the bags actually would cost about $60+. So it's not like it's a very useful product for them, and it's a way for us to introduce ourselves to them. And so we've met a lot of homeless that sleep in their cars, out in the woods, and it's amazing when you think about, like, for instance, the children in North Fulton, just North Fulton, that are homeless. And we consider homeless those that don't have permanent housing, not like up on Holcomb Bridge Road, there's off of 400, there's these overnight hotels like the Atlanta Hotel or Hotel 6. So we count those as not having personal homes. But the count in North Fulton is 530 children all the way through, from preschool through high school.
Oh, wow.
And so working with the adults, our main focus is to rebuild them through, like I said, job development, training, mentoring. And it goes on in once they get their job, you've got to work with them on money management and so forth. And there's no doubt there's a stigma about homeless people and addictions. And there are quite a few with mental disorders or addictions. It's not uncommon. I guess if I was homeless for 12 years of my life, I might be doing the same thing. I'm not sure. So what we do is a quick assessment once we've got their trust built up, and we collaborate with other organizations that can help us. So we've been able to place people with cognitive disorders at Must Ministries, who does a great job with that. And then with addiction recovery and spiritual recovery, we send them to like Seven Bridges. Sometimes Must Ministries are not as good as Seven Bridges as far as, our thoughts are, because the program is really about rehabilitation so that they don't turn around and come back in. And once stabilized, and once we've worked with these people, they become a contributing part to the economic development of our communities and also make it a safer place. So we don't take any money. So we do some fundraising, but all the fundraising goes back to the homeless. Everybody on the board and all the volunteers, we're all volunteers, including myself.
Wow.
So it's been a real change. And I don't know how long we'll be able to do that because we need some help. We need an office so that when we do training and stuff, we're not at the library and meeting at places like that. So there are parts where an office would be great, and having classes right in there. There are a lot of shelters out there, but we don't want to be a shelter. We want to be more of a springboard, maybe the word, to pop them back into society as soon as they're able. And we've had our successes. We've had some disappointments, but they come back. Frank, who I was telling you about in his last year of college, he's been with us, or part of our lives. He calls me Mama, so he's been with us 3 years. So since I started, which was in I kind of formed the organization in 2014. We incorporated, got our 501c3.
Okay.
And just feel like what we do is kind of like it's what God puts in our path. We look to Him. Sometimes I want my will done. I want them to get a job right here, right now, and so do they. But I don't think God's got to watch. And so we just wait and work with them a little longer, and that's what it usually takes. And we're not supported by any church. We have been looking for we go to North Point Community Church. However, it's quite a large church, and they have the organizations that they fund, and that's all they'll do. So we've been looking at finding a smaller church because we had one guy wanted to be baptized and things like that, and so there is a need for that kind of pastoral counseling and things like that.
Excellent. That's very good. Yeah, actually, let me ask you this, Jeanette. What do you find most rewarding of being at the head of this organization?
Oh, I don't like being at the head. I
Mm.
like being on the streets with them, like
Mm-hmm.
every day. Right now, I'm working with two. I work with the women, and then the men work with the men. And so, I'm working currently with 3 women,
Okay.
and one is a recovering drug addict, and
Mm-hmm.
she's, unfortunately, that takes a toll on their mental psyche, and she wants her family reunited. And it's hard to tell her, you're going to have to regain your trust. You've been doing this for 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
It just doesn't happen overnight. So,
Right.
you deal with depression, and so there's some counseling involved, and sometimes having to send them to a psychiatrist for an evaluation.
Mm-hmm.
We have to put them up overnight because they're maybe sleeping in the woods or things like that. But we try to, like I said before, collaborate with other shelters just for temporary purposes of having them housed. We have been able to find a couple of apartments. For one, he had a cognitive disorder, so there was a place for him that worked out where it's 4 people to an apartment with someone overseeing their everyday routines, and then they'll always ask, "Where's Jeanette? Where's Paul?" Paul is our he was executive director. He stepped down to do just basically his niche is really job placement, development, resumes, all the things that we really need, and he does so well. So thank God for him. And we have a lot of good relationships with hiring organizations like Hire Dynamics, Home Depot, UPS. And so those connections help a lot. That's why I say I'm not a good executive director, because I haven't developed the partnerships I need to do. So there's a lot in my lacking as far as a nonprofit. So I'm really dependent on God. You got to help me out. Like even this radio spot, I don't know what I'm going to say.
No, that's good. Yeah, certainly.
Yeah.
If
it's
anybody,
give me the words, because I need your help.
Yeah. How about for the folks that are listening, if they're interested in volunteering or donating, what's the best way they can get in contact with y'all?
On the website, there's a place to go to volunteer, and we answer right away. As a matter of fact, we've had 3 this last month that came through the website, which was great.
Good.
We also have a Facebook page.
Okay.
So it's been helpful. We're doing a fundraising event this Saturday, and then we'll have a bowling event, and then what we call our bags of hope, where I told you where we it's in a tote bag, all those things that they need. And we go out on the streets, and we're out at night passing those out with sandwiches and things like that to just get to know them, meet them. And it's surprising how open they are. We met a guy named Milt who was sleeping in his car. He fell on hard times. He has a Harvard and a Princeton degree. Can you believe it?
Oh, wow. Gosh.
Yeah, and he's been with us about 3 months and just left to go to Afghanistan. He's going to work in the Secret Service, actually, over there.
Wow.
So, yeah, but it took a while because he had to deal with the heartache of what was going on in his family. And so our mentors help with that. And we have programs for the youth. We do, Quincy does a lot with the youth as far as like tennis lessons, just mentoring, just, taking them out, going bowling and talking to them. And then we have a junior achievement program through Spelman College for the children so that they can not be behind, as that most homeless people, unfortunately, are socially, emotionally, and educationally underdeveloped because of their circumstances.
Right.
Yeah. But when they start seeing the successes, they start getting excited.
Mm-hmm.
And we have a guy that he's been with us just as long as Frank. He was in a shelter for 7 years, and he now manages an apartment complex where he lives. He's got his security guard certification.
Mm-hmm.
So we try to find out, what they like to do and help them pursue that.
That's excellent, Jeanette. Very good. Well, y'all are doing a wonderful job, and I can't commend you enough. What a great testimony that you've been here on.
It's all Andy's fault, but God's will, right?
Yeah, right. That's a great way to look at it, certainly. Let me ask you, before I let you go, if anybody out there wants to contact you directly, what's the best way for them to reach you if they're listening and they want to talk to you some more?
Oh, I'd love for them to call. It's my number is 678 778 9596, or they can reach me at by email at jhames, H-A-M as in Mary, E-S, at beatsthestreets.org. And beats is plural, streets is plural.
Perfect. And we'll put that on the screen for anybody watching, too, if they want to take that down. So, Jeanette, that's great. Again, keep up the wonderful work. And if there's anything that I could do to help out, please let me know. It's an honor.
I thank you so much.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to meet you.
So kind to let us talk and say what we do. We appreciate it so much.
Oh, thank you. Again, keep up the great work that you're doing here in the greater Atlanta area, and best of luck. And let's stay connected, and let's do this again and have you back on very soon, too.
Oh, I appreciate that so much. All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Jeanette. Well, you have a wonderful day, and we'll love to talk to you soon.
Okay. God bless.
You too. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, everybody, there you have it. Jeanette Hames right here on GoTarryn TV for the very first time, representing beatthestreets.org. So make sure you check out that website and contact her today. And if you need any help with donating or volunteering, she will definitely help you with that. So again, Jeanette, if you're watching, thank you very much for coming here on GoTarryn TV for the very first time. Let's definitely have you back on in the very near future. And hope everything goes well with the event this weekend. Let us know. And again, let's talk very soon again and do another one of these shows with you. In the meantime, everyone else out there, hope you're having a wonderful day. Please make sure to do the following to stay connected with yours truly. If you could please make sure to like GoTarryn on Facebook, subscribe to GoTarryn on YouTube, and follow GoTarryn on Twitter. That way you will stay connected with yours truly, the master of the personal training universe, Tarryn, the traveling trainer of GoTarryn Personal Training, who always tells each and every one of you that it's your time, it's your investment, it's your life. Thanks so much, and we will see you on the next video blog, everybody. Bye-bye.